Hey guys, it's Pabzi back with another video, and I'm terribly mad about this video because I recorded it once and I forgot to turn on my mic and I had no audio for the entire duration, and I'm mad about it, but I'm still gonna make the video. I'm not gonna disappoint you guys, which I have been doing for a few weeks because I'm not making any videos, which I promised to do, I guess, but that works, right? Like, since I'm compensating with this video, you guys forgive me, right? That's fine. So let's move on to Thrall, and let's speak how this meta-breaking, sensational, damaging character in the world, like unbalanced, broken character. Every time a new character comes out, this is the narrative that's painted. It's not that broken, but it's a good balanced character. This game is doing well now. It's balancing many characters, adding buffs to many characters, how they're getting into the meta now and actually working in the meta. It's not like there's a single meta right now. There are several characters that will fit in the meta. It's not a broken character, and I understand people's opinion on it. Like, it might at first glance look broken, but I will compare it with previous characters which were in the meta and how it fares against them, and why it's not completely replacing them in the meta. That's how I'm going to compare it. And also, I'm going to say what teams you might be able to use with this and might pair best with Thrall. Let's start with its talents. Why not? Let's go for it. I'll also read the artifacts along with the talents. Creates an unstable electric storm on the battlefield, dealing 100% magic damage per second to all enemies and silencing them for 2 seconds. Which means it silences the enemies for 2 seconds, and over the 2-second duration, it does 200% magic damage. And it also has the electric storm knockback reduction from the electric storm is increased by 8%. Now 8% electric, where does it do the knockback reduction? It does the knockback reduction here when you read the enhanced storm, which makes the power of electric storm higher. Electric storm, during its storm, all enemies knockback effects reduced by 12%. So that 12% reduction is now becoming 20%. So that's a good amount of knockback reduction of the enemies. Like, now their knockback effect is reduced by 20%. I don't know if that affects Panda alt. I am not sure about that, but rest of them 100%. It does help in the knockback and knockback reduction. Let's go for the last one first because it relates to the first one. Let's go for this one. Electric storm, during its electric storm, lowers the target enemy. The more the damage they I am dyslexic or something, I cannot read. Electric storm, during the electric storm, the lower the target's energy, the more the damage they take. Up to an additional 100% damage, all enemies are stunned for 1 second when the storm ends. So let's say it's silenced for 2 seconds, it's also stunned for 1 second. That means it cannot do the ult for 3 seconds, and it's stunned for 1 second and recovers energy in during the stun. However, it does not recover energy during the silence. That's how it works as a trade-off. So up to additional 100% damage if their energy is low. The lower the target's energy, I don't know what that means. If it's the target's enemy energy is 0%, then it's 100%, or is it like there's a threshold to that? I don't know, but yeah, at least I know that the lower the target's energy is, the more the damage it will deal, up to an additional 100%, which means probably 100% magic per second, it has said. So this 100% will probably add up to the per second thing and not be only another 100% extra with this. If that's the case, then that will be in total of, let's say the maximum will be 300% damage, and if it's per second, then the maximum will be 400% magic damage over here. Hopefully it's 400% magic damage, then that makes more DPS sense, then makes it more viable in whatever team it may fit. Let's go to the Thunderstrike. Curses one enemy every 8 seconds. The cursed enemy will be struck by lightning 3 times over 6 seconds. Each strike dealing 90% true damage. And this is a huge amount of damage already. There's 270% damage over the 6 seconds. And it does every 8 seconds. And the thing is only 6 seconds. It's the duration is 6 seconds and it happens 8 seconds, so there's only a 2-second gap between it, so it will be doing it quite fast. And 270% true damage every 8 seconds is quite a lot, and with the artifact, it will also, like legendary artifact, it will also target another enemy. So that's 540% damage, true damage, and that's a lot of damage. Actually, you will be underestimating the damage if you don't think about it holistically. That's quite a lot of damage since it's a true damage. It's way more than its competitors. So as a support, it's probably doing the highest amount of DPS in this case. Now let's look at Thunder Strike. Each lightning strike, this is the, what do you say, the eternal artifact. The Thunder Strike, each lightning strike briefly reduces the enemy's attack speed and movement speed significantly and decreases the energy regen speed by 50% per second for 6 seconds. This is huge, the 50% per second for 6 seconds, because this is what will also synergize with his ult and make his ult's damage more, which we have read before. And thus you want the energy to be reduced quite a bit, and the movement and attack speed also, enemies attack speed and movement speed also reduces, which is another great addition to it. So this is one great skill, and you must need eternal artifact with this character. That's like no risk, what do you say, no compromises. Yeah, you cannot compromise with that. So Guardian Rune, after 6 seconds in the battle, applies a Guardian Rune to the ally with the lowest HP, blocking 1 instance of fatal damage and restoring 20% of their max HP. Each cast increases cooldown by 8 seconds, and it can be cast by like 2 times only. So if you think about that, it's like 8 plus 16, that's 24 seconds. Within 24 seconds it will cast this once, depends if the ally is taking the fatal damage, and it will do it in 2 different allies. Every time it does it in a different ally, as it says, can be cast up to 2 times per battle, and each ally can only receive the rune once. Now the Guardian Rune's mythic one will be, when applying a Guardian Rune to the ally, reduces their damage taken by 20%, which is even better because it's reducing the damage taken by 8%, also increasing their survivability, and increases the max HP restored when blocking fatal attack by 16%. So the restored HP will be 36%. That's quite a bit. With the 20% damage taken reduction, it will survive a bit longer, and maybe with like regen of health. And also it does like negate 1 fatal damage instance, which is also great. It will make the ally live for maybe quite a bit more, give it 36% HP, and especially with a healer, that will also be sustained and regened. Even though I do not recommend a healer with this guy, you'll see that. Now let me say why this is still not better than silence in most of the meta teams. Why? First of all, let's look at its amount of silencing. It does 2 seconds plus 1, that's 3 seconds of silencing. It's stun actually, but okay, we'll take it as silencing. It's not silencing, but it's stun. But okay, 3 seconds of silencing, giving him the benefit of doubt, as well as energy regen speed reduction for 6 seconds. Quite good, quite good. It does not reduce energy anywhere else, as you will see. Even in the artifact, there is no other way of reducing energy here. That's the only way you are reducing energy. And also reduces the enemy's attack speed and movement speed, and increases this is also only to the random enemies that this electricity is hitting. It's not for like everyone. Okay, remember that. Now let's look at silence. Just its ult does 4 seconds of silencing. It's already equal to Thrall at silencing. Let's go back, now go to the Wisdom Blade. It, every time it does a basic attack, whoever it hits, it first of all will do additional true damage of 35%, which is quite a bit of attack too, because it's doing every 8 seconds, and this is doing every basic attack. And like Wisdom Blade reduces 60 energy from targets. Like every time it's hitting a basic attack, it's actually reducing energy. Crazy amount. So let's go again. Silence Domain decreases the attack of the affected enemies by 12% within 6 seconds. So like, yeah, that's good, because reducing attack, why not? It does the attack speed, he does the attack. When an enemy releases an energy skill, it will deal magic damage equal to 150%. Releases an energy skill, so any skill that requires energy, say the ult or any other skill that will take energy, it will deal a magic damage equal to 150%, it means silence will deal that amount of damage to the attack caster and prevent the caster for recovering energy of for 2 seconds. So that's another 2 seconds. Let's add that to here. Let's go even more. Now, silence domain, when released, immediately deduct 100 points from all affected enemies, and that's basically all enemies here. So, like, makes no sense. You would write all affected enemies. It's all enemies because this affects all enemies. It will reduce the 100 energy too. Even more silencing. Seems like it's broken. Also, why I'm not doing it in my main where I have the mythic is because I do not have thrall there, and I'm not spending to get thrall. No, I'm not spending more limited recruits. I can get it after the event because I don't think it's that big of a deal. So I am doing it in my alt, but it's a good character. Don't get me wrong; it's viable. It's not. It's as good as silence if used properly, but maybe silence is a bit more versatile. That silence will rank higher in my tier list, but it's great in the proper team. It's as good as silence, even maybe somewhat better if possible. And now let's go for silence sensing. Look at this. We know all of these already. Movement speed and silence domain silence as a target and deals magic damage. We know that movement speed is reduced. The movement speed is comparable to that guy again. Now let's look at silence sensing. Periodically targets an enemy with the highest energy in range. The periodically means, who knows? I also don't know. What is periodically really? Like, is it 10 seconds? Is it 6 seconds? Is it 50 seconds? If it's 50 seconds, it's a useless thing. But from my experience, I've seen after silence gets to the eternal, it does a lot more damage. So the periodically might be something like 8 seconds or maybe like 12 seconds. So periodically targets an enemy with the highest energy in range and releases a scaled mysterious curse, deals magic damage equal to 100% of the attack and deducts 30 energy per second, lasting for 5 seconds. That's another 30 energy per second for 5 seconds. More silencing. And that's 500% magic damage, which does a lot of damage too. So, like, now the damages are becoming comparable, even though Thrall will deal more damage. Silence does way more silencing and also good amount of damage. It's really good to use silence instead of thrall in most situations. So silence thrall is not that broken. You're not gonna change like replace silence with thrall. So, but maybe in practical usage, maybe Thrall is better than Silence. Who knows? I've not tried that. Hopefully, after testing, Thrall might become better than it. But currently, my opinion from reading all these things, I think Silence is still better than Thrall in most teams. However, let's now speak of the teams where Thrall fits and how Thrall is also equally as good as Silence in certain teams. First of all, I'd like you to pair the DPS with Thrall to be first of all, I want Neza in the team. Why Neza in the team? Let's explain that first. Let's go to Neza. We'll look at some things that fit with him. Neza fits because of this. When taking damage exceeding 10% of max HP in single hit, releases Armillary Sash on the attacker, reducing their energy regen speed by 40% per second and attack by 25% for 5 seconds. That's another energy reduction thing. It does not reduce energy, but at least reduces the speed of energy. That will in turn make the damage dealt by Thrall also higher. And also synergize in the energy reduction. That's good. Let's look at something else that fits, not the front line. Envoy. Envoy reduces energy a lot. As you can see, duration increases by 3%, it reduces endure target's energy regen by 80%. So, like, whenever it does Pulse Nova, it reduces it for 80% for 7 seconds. So, and it cannot be dispelled. So, you know that. So, that's another real good one. And there's a lot of other things that makes this is a good DPS, and it also helps in knockback along with, you know, our boy Thrall. He also helps in knockback. So these two like synergize so well. I would say Thrall and Envoy must be used together. If you're using Thrall, you better use Envoy. Or else why not use Silence? If you're even with Silence, Envoy works really good. I would say with Thrall, Envoys with these recent meta changes, I'm actually putting Envoy near Witch. Like it's actually going to the same tier as Witch. Previously I would like, now S tier, I'm in the new tier list, I'm going to be adding a new tier called the SS tier because it's necessary. And maybe Shadow Fiend is still in God tier, but I will put him in the SS tier. But that's only talking about the best in class. But maybe in mages there's two best in class now, Witch and Envoy. So right now with all the changes, Envoy might be getting to the top of the top, and I will be actually making him eternal and replacing my Levi, even though Levi is in the meta now, with the frontline killer meta that will be talked later in the tier list video. It will be coming soon, hopefully soon, because my commitments don't work well. I have not been releasing videos very much, but okay, but hopefully it will be coming soon. And yeah, I will be like removing that for this guy. Another one that works well with Thrall is our boy Shadow Fiend. He works well with everyone because just standing in the field, as long as he's alive, he'll be reducing the energy regen speed of all enemies by 12%. Broken skill. This thing is just broken. This is the best thing in the game, and you'll be using it everywhere. Shadow Fiend is a must in every team. It's just God here. Don't underestimate it. So with that, these three work well. As I said, Neza, and if you can get good amount of knockback, this works well. You know why? Because it silences them for 3 seconds and also stuns them during that period. So that's another good one. If you only this only works if you can push back, or else it will be only silencing the guy in the front. That won't be good. You would want them to be already pushed back, and this to affect everyone. That's really gonna be good. The tornado thing. That's one that works. However, I'd suggest for sustenance, I would add Paladin in the team. And also, one more thing that will work good with him is actually Silence herself. And you can form a team like this now. You can form a team like Thrall with Eternal Artifact, of course, Silence with Eternal Artifact. Your Neza. Neza is a must. And then there's who is there? Our Shadow Fiend. Where's the Shadow Fiend? I'm blind. Shadow Fiend, and our support is Thrall is there. Silence is there. Our DPS, yeah, Envoy. So with that, this is one team that works. What? I'm stupid. Yo, no, this does not work. Yeah, though this Silence, this guy Shadow Fiend, and maybe the front line, another front line will be our Paladin. Now we can switch the Shadow Fiend here with Envoy. How these are always working, because these do good amount of damage too. The Silence also does good amount of damage. Thrall does damage, and all of these doing damage with their eternal artifacts makes the requirement of another DPS low. You will just need some sustenance, and also this guy also does like a DPS, so that will be quite a decent amount of damage actually, all of them together. And they'll be like silencing so much and reducing energy so much, it's really going to be hard for the enemy to ult. So that's not going to be a problem. They won't be dealing a lot of burst damage back to you. So this is a good meta team. Like here you can also replace our Silence with the Shadow Fiend, and that's a working team. And if you get enough knockback by using, probably maybe you can also use Snow Woman with this one, even though it will not like affect everything else, it will give energy as well as it will allow you to push back. And if you can push back, you must need Neza in this one, because Neza is a good one in this team, required one for the DPS compensation. You can actually remove the Paladin and use Whirlpool, and that works if you can get enough knockback runes. If you cannot get enough knockback, you can keep the Paladin if you can get enough knockback, like if you have crazy knockback runes, you can actually remove this snow woman and actually sustain this team a bit more by using the diva, because diva also gives knockback effect. Also remember, these two also give knockback effect. Diva also gives knockback effect, and it heals and keeps the enemy, like your team, alive a bit more. So these are the few teams that you can use with Thrall, and it really works good. Do not make it a silence replacement. I would still say in teams with Envoy, Silence, and Shadow Fiend, they work really good with Neza especially. So these four are working really well with Snow Woman, which works a little bit better than Envoy because of the knockback. But currently Envoy seems to be crazy to me. Maybe it's pushing the witch level, as I said. I'm probably gonna reduce. The only thing is that in that case, actually, I can actually make an argument now, which reduces the healing by 50%, which is why like you would use the witch currently. Let's not spoil that actually. Let's wait for that info in the, what the hell am I doing? Okay, I guess I'm mad. But okay, let's wait for that info in our tier list video that will be coming soon. Hopefully it will come soon, and not telling you the info right now will probably motivate me to make the tier list video faster. And that's when I will be talking about the witch and the envoy comparison. And hopefully you liked the video, and hopefully now you know Thrall is how Thrall fits, and how the meta is not changing but giving you much variety. These are all viable teams that will do good against the meta teams too. Now you can have flavors and variety. The game is giving you buffs and everything so that you can use multiple characters. Don't put your mindset into a single boxed in meta when the game is actually fixing it. So since they're doing such a good job, you should actually think about like what team you like more. Maybe you like killing front lines more. It does really good now. It works as good as the other metas. You maybe like the previous meta more. Go for it. Just don't go for the old meta. That does not work. But there are several metas right now, and you can go for any and you will be fine with it. And think about a good team. Maybe you can think about a new meta and do it. So don't box yourself in, especially with the buffs and everything. And hopefully you like the video and you know how to use Thrall now, and hopefully now you will be winning more. Maybe you'll be getting Thrall, because if you're a new guy, this is probably the easiest to spend and get to the max stars, and that way you'll be doing great. And thank you so much guys. If you like the video, like and subscribe. Even though I don't make much content here, it just will make me happy. So for that, maybe you can do that much. And thank you guys. See you in the next video. Hopefully it will be a tier list or a divine weapon thing. Hopefully I'll just make the tier list, then I'll move on to the divine weapons. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Ciao.